So this is Lane Dopod, and this is Hudson Graham, goes by Hut. Hut played quarterback for us, and Lane's a O-line, D-lineman for us.
Coach, just start us off initially your thoughts about tonight's game.
Yeah, I think that, it's two really good football teams going at it. We certainly didn't play a real clean game in some areas, but, I think a lot of that's due to, Franklin causing us to make some mistakes as well. So I definitely don't want to take anything away from them. They're a great football team, really well coached. So, we took it down to the fourth quarter, and unfortunately we didn't make the plays there at the end to stay in the game, and they did. So, you got to give them a lot of credit. But I'm super proud of these guys right here. I'm super proud of our team. I thought that not only this game but all year long they did exactly what we asked them to do, and we just came up a little short in the end.
Questions from the floor?
Coach, what was the hardest part about playing run defense against Franklin?
Well, they were hurting us with some of their cutbacks. They hurt us all over, but in their cutback lead, they were kind of cutting back against the grain, and our linebackers were over pursuing some. And that's nothing against our kids. It's just they were making some really good runs in there. And then on their outside stuff, we just didn't. We didn't force it early enough the way that we needed to, and we got some of those things changed, and some of that showed up a little bit in the second half. But, I think you've got to give a lot of credit to really their kids. I mean, we talked about it all week. We needed the first person that arrived. We felt like our plan was good, really, and we felt like we were going to have people there. And I think for the most part there were people there all night long. Of course, you got to watch the video in a lot of areas too. But I felt like we had some kids there. It's just, the first guy there either missing or just not securing that tackle, hurt us in some spots. But, again, that's they had some great players and great play calling, so you got to give them that credit.
Coach, can you talk about what it was like through the first three quarters? So every time they did something, you guys were able to respond, that sort of that back and forth? Yeah.
Well, again, I think you got, our kids, they're fighters. There's no doubt about it. I knew that's something we were definitely going to do is not quit. We talk about not looking at the scoreboard and just playing plays and trying to win plays, and our kids did that in the entire game. So, I was really, really proud of them going back and forth with them. Like I said, we took it to the very end, and unfortunately just didn't make a play or two, and that's the way it goes.
Coach, the Franklin defense shut y'all out in the fourth quarter, and that same thing happened last week when they played Wask and they were tied and then ended up winning by 14. Was there something that we're seeing that was any different out of them in the fourth quarter, or was it just kind of just how the game ended?
It's just how the game went. A game is we had a plan, and obviously I think we executed our plan for the entire game. You get 2 scores down, and you got to start pressing, and obviously, they know it now what you're going to try to do. So, that was just a credit to them, but it's also just us, trying to make some plays, and they went up and made those plays instead of us.
With how little 4 wide receiver sets they'd seen through the playoffs, did you feel like your passing game was something that could carry you through this game?
Our passing game? Yeah, they did exactly to us what we thought they would do. We knew that they would play that kind of that man coverage on us, and yes and no. Structurally, yeah, you would feel like you've got some of those things, but they have good players back there. So all year long, I feel like putting it up to our guys was probably a 80-20 or 90-10 ball. We were going to go make a lot of plays, and we made some plays tonight. But you got to give them some respect and some credit, and their ability to make plays. Their 2 safeties, we knew that going in, were something that were going to be really, really difficult. They can stand there flat-footed at about 7 yards and come up and hit you on the line of scrimmage, and then they can also defend your vertical route out of your slot. And not, and do it on the same play. So, they when you're playing some athletes like that, you've got to be really timely and smart about your shots, or you're gonna put your kids in a bad situation.
You quarterbacked a team that won 15 games and made it to the game that everybody wants to make it to. So you just talk about how proud you are of yourself and your teammates for the season that y'all had.
Yeah, I couldn't be more proud. me and Lane, all the seniors, we've been leading our whole team through the whole season, and so I'm really proud. And obviously I'm not very proud of the way that it ended tonight, but I'm proud that we kept fighting back every time that we had adversity. And yeah, I'm really proud of my guys.
Hud, at the end of the first half when you got that touchdown that was called back, did that affect you, the way the result of that play, did that affect your team at all, negatively or positively, or did it shake emotions up at all?
No, I think that Cole obviously went down there and made a play, and we were excited at the time, but once we got that flag, we knew it was time to go back to work and do the same thing. So.
But I talked to you during the Pilot Point game, and you talked about how the Canadian game last year was kind of you guys' driving force to get back here to state. I know it wasn't the ultimate finish for you guys, but it did get you back here to state. Can you talk a little bit about how the team kind of came together after that loss last year?
Yeah, so obviously last year didn't end well, and so we kind of had that bad taste like I was telling you earlier on the year. So that really pushed us through our off-season workouts and in the summer and stuff like that. So just coming off of that loss last year and wanting to capitalize on that this year, I'm really proud that we got here, but obviously I wish it could have gone different in the end.
You looked really in sync on those deep balls with Cole, especially in the first half. Can you just talk a little bit about your chemistry with this group of wide receivers?
Yeah, Cole's a really, he's probably, in my opinion, the most underrated receiver in Texas. He goes up, obviously he's good at catching that jump ball, and really all I have to do, he makes my job easy, is I just have to put it within 5 yards of him, and I can trust him to come down with it. So obviously in practice, building that chemistry and obviously passing the ball and stuff like that helps, but in the end, it really comes down to just trusting my receivers to go make a play.
Lane, what was the most challenging part of going up against Franklin's running game for you?
Probably stopping the cutbacks, and when they'd bounce it outside, it was hard to predict and get them down. The first man there had to lock up and hold them until the rest could get there, and we had a hard time with that, and it cost us.
Final question? All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.